Good morning. All right. Man, sorry, sanding away at the raccoon's back outer shell. Man, am I tired. Just trying to get rid of that seam line, which I glued together yesterday. I mean, there is something to be said about halves like this coming together. Makes it a little easier to eliminate. Hey, Ken, good morning. How are you? It's pretty likely that we're going to have to do some filling there. Funny thing is you can't see. Yeah, there it is. Now I can see it. I even hit it today. We'll see. Anyway, what's going on, Ken? How's your weekend? Hey, Tom. Ray, good morning. College visit was great. Went down, it was Saturday. Excuse me. Went down on Saturday and hung out with Mia. Let me see. We went to Pepe's Pizza. Did some grocery shopping for her. So, came home. It was great. Ken Ray right down. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. You know, it's one of the nice things about having your kid not very far is you can do like a blast down and just go hang out with them, right? How much of this do I really need to eliminate? Yep, good enough. And it's also been good. She's been having a really good first couple of weeks, you know. Shortly, it's going to get tougher and worse and all that other good stuff. But, you know, right now, between the dance team, personal life, the sorority that she's rushed, and yuck. Oh, and academics. Things are fine. There we go. Yesterday was a pretty, I shouldn't say lazy day. Got quite a bit of housework done, which is nice. But it was a nice low key day. She must be excited. Um, I think for the most part, the answer is yes. I think her positivity momentum has been on the upswing, which is great. You know, between it's one thing when you want to walk onto a campus and you don't have a social life, and then you very quickly establish one, and that's great. Because at least that adds a little bit of a comfort level to it. So because academia, as we know, gets pretty stressful at the collegiate level, particularly as you start getting through some of the more basic courses. But she's been able to navigate that. Dance is starting to take up quite a bit of time as they're starting to get ready they do dance as well as there are two competitions. There are two dances in a competition in January. She is not in one, and she's trying to make the second one. But in the meantime, they are also part of the cheer squad. So they'll be doing cheer at basketball games, which we are planning to attend. So pretty excited to see that. And then the rest of it is just, her just navigating her, obviously all the activities. But so far it seems to be a good experience. She's enjoying it. Hey, Nick, good morning. What's going on, man? You don't even show up on YouTube anymore. I had to search for you, then click your profile to find your live. Oh, that's interesting. Really? Huh. That's kind of wild. Maybe I'm just unimportant, right? Oh, well. I get reminders. Oh, well. I have to go into descriptions to see you. Supposed to get the reminder and never have. Wild. Again, I'm just a loser. An unimportant individual. All right, let's see. What do we want to do here? So guys, I'm just trying to figure out what fits inside there. With the allergies, these last couple days have been kicking my posterior. Okay, where the fuck did it go? No, it's right there. Got a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. Yep, that sounds like me. So get the reminder and number. That's me and Beck. I don't know. I guess the question is it important? I think most people, I don't. The question is, how important is it to grow this channel, right? I think that's really what it comes down to. How important is it to grow this channel? And frankly, in my opinion, it really isn't a matter of growing it from, from an algorithm perspective or from, come on, I'm not looking to, become an influencer or anything like that. I mean, look, we can joke about it if we want, but all kidding aside, I'm not interested in that. You know, do I want to reach people who may be just looking for some place to just kind of talk about modeling? Sure. That's about it. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning, Manny. How are you? Well, I appreciate that, Tom. And you know, you guys are important to me too. And honest, that's 100% true. You know, what I'd like to do is continue to find ways of, fostering a place that if look, I've said it 100 times, I'm going to say it another one. Okay. If you're looking to find ways of becoming a modeler, you're looking to learn skill sets and all that good shit, you're on the wrong channel. But if you're looking to just kind of every day hang out with fellow modelers and just kind of shoot the shit and hopefully, talk a little bit about life, a lot more about life than models, great. Because frankly, you're not even seeing what the fuck I'm doing here. I'm just because here's the comfort level, right? You can see I'm kind of just sanding away. I am stellar. I love that. And what makes you so stellar? So the steel cage match with Zucker is off. Yes, not going to happen. You're fostering a place where you don't have to be PC. Right, I don't have to be PC. Well, I'd like to say that I'm fostering a place where, we can just kind of talk a little bit, and hopefully, if there's situations going on in life, we can certainly talk about them. God knows I've unloaded on people enough times, and hopefully others will feel as comfortable about doing the same here as well. What those guys do, all those guys do, it's not what I want to do. This is part of if you're going to be doing things on YouTube, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to show you how to build a model. Okay. Hate to put it this way, but you're probably about a dozen years too late. There's enough guys out there who are doing reviews and talking about, how to improve your builds. There's enough of them out there. Being alive another day. Okay. How's that's funny, man. Well, I'm hoping it's more than just being alive. How's being a boss going for you? Otherwise known as a supervisor. Okay. We got that going for us. I think we will. We'll put down some surfacer, just so as a reminder that I did put down some surfacer. This is church time with Uncle George. I don't know about it's church time. That's more like, maybe not. I was going to say Thursday's more like, no, Thursday's really not like church time. I don't know what this really is, It continues to be very much like what it was during COVID, really. The unfortunate thing is, and I've been thinking a lot about it, it's like, our recent situation with Red. I've never had to do something like that where I just think that this may be an inappropriate place for somebody. But generally, I want this to be a place where for anybody to come, whether I agree with your philosophies or your politics is immaterial. There we go. Being a boss is fun, not that difficult. I'm an easygoing boss. Yeah. Well, as you said, and I think very correctly, Manny, you came from a position where I know the work that you guys were doing. And it's not about being an easy boss per se, but certainly listening to the people, you know, that work for you or you're supervising and be able to take, to balance out their needs and, you know, management needs. Man, I've talked about it before, and I'm not sure it was certainly instrumental to me when I was supervising people. Book that I would recommend, and I'm blanking on the author's name, but it's a book called First Break All the Rules, and it's a management book on literally breaking all the rules that you learned about how you're supposed to manage people. And it is fascinating and incredibly informative, and at least from my experience, 100% spot on. Give it time. Bring a boss. Being a boss will be annoying. I don't know about that. Maybe. I think it depends. I think it depends. I don't know, just because I did them too, but I never got caught. That's one way to look at it. Nice. I don't know about, I think it depends. What ends up happening. And again, we've talked about this quite a bit, people get promoted into positions thinking that they can go from being like, being expert at their skills and then discovering that being a boss is a different game. And it sounds like Manny's been able to navigate that well. And that's the important thing. Yeah, I keep using as a classic example, I keep using the owner of our company just because you know how to do a job, like you know how to technically go out there and can talk to me about amplifier, you know, pieces and parts and how they're constructed and how things are supposed to sound and how you're supposed to run wires from point A to point. That's all great. And he's excellent at that mostly. But then being a business owner, totally different thing. All right. So we got that kind of going. Let's see what happens when that's all done. Hey, Mike, good morning. What's going on, brother? I think one of my positives is that I'm able to adapt to a lot of different personalities. That is huge. And that is one of the first break all the rules. Don't treat everybody the same way. You got people, everybody in front of you is different. You have to treat them based on what their needs are, not just treat everybody identically. That might not work. Unless you were the boss before and now just got the title. Even then. When do I get to go bring in a strange friend to work day? I don't know. When do you? Hey, Tom. Good morning, George. Hey, Mike. All right. We are going to, I think those are separated. All right. Slide out this cockpit. I'm going to try to get this thing dropped in here. What the hell is that? A lot of flash on that. I think it's flash. So it's interesting that white part, basically it's like a little scope or whatever that got dropped in. From the front, looks like it's actually arrayed pretty well. From the back, it is not. So do I break it off and reposition it or just say screw it because it's poorly molded? Not sure yet. So what happened that got your gears grinding? Who you? Me? Are my gears grinding? Am I grinding, Manny? Let me know. If I am, I apologize. I don't mean to. I didn't think I was, but it's always possible. That's some pretty shitty molding here. Mr. Mike Gordon, good morning. How are you? George, did you have a storm that came through? It was the hurricane tornado came close, but nah, not too bad. I mean, I came in mid-conversation. Was I saying anything? I don't even know what the hell I was saying, Manny. Was there anything that sounded like it was important? I'd be surprised. Nah, it's all good. It's all good, brother. So I guess on Saturday night while I was down in Connecticut, we got a tornado that landed a couple miles, less than a couple miles, maybe like a mile and a half from here. It's all good. I think the only thing I was just talking about is just the importance of this channel and what it means. Maybe that was what I was talking about. You know, I guess not. Yeah, probably nothing special. Look, Manny, I'm like a butterfly. It's like we'll drift between topics, come back. It's like, what was I just talking about? Where was I? Oh, I have no idea. I mean, this is an interesting way of conversing. I think we've talked about this before. It just this ability to try to track what's going on and people responding to something. And it's like they're responding to something. It's like, what is that a response to? What the hell were we just talking about? Yeah, because you could be having 4, 5 conversations. I mean, normally it's not that many, but quite a few. My son has a customer on Bailey Road. Guess they got it bad. He's got some extra cleanup work. Yeah, I bet so. Yeah, we were fine. There was nothing that came through this way. There was a lot of wind, my daughter said, but it stopped and then, cleared up pretty quickly. It kind of came and went, thankfully. And hopefully nobody was hurt and nobody had massive property damage. The rain was nice. Well, what little there was of it. So we were at Pepe's Pizza, Mike, and it blew in. We literally sat down and it just downpoured. And then we left 45 minutes, 50 minutes later, and it was just like lightly raining. And by the time we got to Target, it mostly stopped. By the time we got to her dorm, the clouds were clearing. We got lots of rain until Sunday noon. Did you get the white clam pie? No. My daughter's not a big clam person, and I'm not either. No, we got a tomato and 2 type of mozzarella cheese pie. Well, Sunday afternoon, yeah. That's good to hear. Yeah, things are good. Things are good, thankfully. And again, as long as other people, it's like it just when shit like that happens, you obviously get concerned. We got a neighbor right behind us and my wife suggested because she kept on asking, any limbs come down, anything bad? And I said, nah, everything is fine. She said, you might still want to talk to your neighbors because they've got trees. We've got no trees in our backyard anymore. But our backdoor neighbor has massive trees that are starting to, of course, arch into our yard. So you have one nasty storm and boop, those things are coming down. So it's going to be a registered letter to them telling them, hey, by the way, we're just a little concerned about those trees. Got to hear no one went to Oz. What? What's going on, Dwayne? Good morning. No one went. Oh, I see. Yeah, get it. Slow on the uptake. I'm like, why would anybody go to Australia? Oh, hold it. The wonderful Wizard of. Yeah, like I said, slow. How much coffee have I had? Oh, fuck. Oh, definitely not enough. Anyway. It's all good. Now, what the hell's going on with this thing? Keep thinking back to this past Friday when I had a mom. We got two young boys who were with us at our Patriot meeting, and she asked, like, so what do these kids need to do to kind of be prepared for a competition? And I sat down with them and I just kind of let them know what, as a judge, what I look for and that kind of thing. I've been thinking a lot about that. It's like, at some point we might have to run a little seminar on, as much as, competitions ain't my deal per se. I understand that people do come to a competition to compete or are interested. So having maybe a seminar on that at some point might not be a bad idea. I made some progress on my L19 bird dog. Hopefully all I have left is a battery hatch and some programming. Nice. Hopefully that's all you have too. All right, guys, I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to mute the mic. How does that sound? That way I don't like send people into orbit. So we're going to mute. I'll be back. But I'm going to be here, but I'm going to be back. Does that make sense? Yes, of course it does. I'm back. The humming sound is soothing. How is it now? It's a good time to get some screaming out to. So you're comforted, like I'm standing too. It's a good idea. Something that helps give information and sets expectations for new builders. Yeah. And these are kids, Here's the thing. I don't give a shit about the teaching them how to be better competitors. I'm more interested in showing them, things to look for. So when they build their models and they're like, why, not necessarily why didn't I do as well, but why isn't my model as good looking as that one over there? You can give them the understanding. That's, I think, always been the benefit of a competition, you know? Could have the whole show like this. Would you like me to do that, Nick? Just go silent the entire time? Wouldn't it be best to steer them towards a display only table first, just with their feet wet with a model show? Yeah, the good thing is remember the kids table, things are a little bit easier on kids, right? So they're not competing in like the standard category. So if you're building armor, and Mike, you've been to enough shows, you know what a kids table looks like, the juniors tables look like. We know they're not competing in the same, against people who are seasoned. So I don't think it's as much of an issue, but I think it's, if somebody is interested in competing, but again, kids sometimes like that kind of stuff. I think it's for the most part, I think giving them the understanding of what it's like is not a bad thing. Sound like the adults from the Peanuts. Wah, 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 wah. You guys are funny. It's funny. That's the only skill-based category separation. That's the only skill-based category separation. What's that? I want to make sure I understand the point. It's the only skill-based category separation. Between what and what, Dwayne? All right, and put you guys on mute again. funny how you completely miss something. It's like, this isn't just, I don't think I missed it on this one. No, this one has 3 injection pin marks. Okay. There's no other category from beginners to masters. Instead, it's planes that only bank left in 1941. Your class and everything else, but if clubs separated out by skill level, there would be 1.5 million classes. Yeah. Well, there are places that do that. SMC, International Competition, does that. They actually separate out by skill levels. You know, are you competing at a master level? Are you competing at an intermediate level? You know, this doesn't happen. But the juniors, yeah, generally that's not a bad thing because we understand that they're just getting into it. You know, I was just reading, and I'm very slow. I'm reading the report from IPMS Nationals, the San Marcos ones, and I'm just finished going through the the juniors tables. You know, they've got preteen and teen. Yeah, that's a hefty plane ticket to experience. Oh, it should be more standard here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Sorry, I missed a couple things. Expensive thing. Amps have tiers as well. Do they? Entry, juniors, sophomores, and masters. I think it would be perfect as a set of categories. I think it depends on how many categories you have, because right now, if we look at how many categories we have, Manny, I think it's, I don't know, 40 or something like that, which is not the largest. We're actually looking to combine a couple things. But if you got 40 or something categories, and now you're going to have skill levels for each one, now you're up to what, 160? That's a lot. That's a lot of judging. How is skill level determined in that case? That's a good question. I don't know the SMC rules enough to say how it is done, but they've been doing it. It works for them, but they also work on an amps model too. That's a hefty plane ticket to experience. It should be more standard here. I think here's the thing. Let's this is George's take, and take it for what it is, right? So it's a competition. You play the game, you win, you come in second, third, you lose, whatever. It is what it is. The point is, if you want to compete, then just compete. But with the understanding that you may not win. And the only one that we do separate out by, again, ability, I guess is the better way of putting it, is the juniors categories. And that's just to get them, to give them the soft approach into becoming a maybe a competitor down the road. Or they may just say, it's like, yeah, this is not for me. I think the only mistake that gets made with the juniors category, as usual, and it's the same thing I find with all competitions, personally speaking, is that there is no, I should have done that. There is no ability to discuss where things went well and where things didn't. When I was talking to the mom on Friday, I did say, look, when I judge categories, I like to stay there afterward. And if anybody has any questions on how they did, I will try to answer them. You know, what were the flaws that were seen? I think that's the one mistake in particular with juniors that doesn't get done in at an IPMS show, and that's a mistake. Yeah, and I mean, I've won a few times, and frankly, I don't even give a shit anymore. The bat plane is coming with me, and it's going to go on the display only table. Why? Because I don't really care about competition. You know, I don't think you need 40 categories if you're looking at skill level. Oh, that might be true. I also think that, how do you break things out? Again, long conversation. How many categories are the right number of categories? Do you do? Here's the thing. And this is what's nice about, like Mike was bringing up amps as an example, right? You've got amps. You got the guys at Classic Plastic in the area. You got other shows. Telford, IPMS. That's a different view of how to compete versus SMC. Which one's right? It doesn't fucking matter. It's a competition. Once again, people get all their panties in a bunch over a competition. Do you think there would be the same attendance for a display only show? I don't know. But Mike, here's the thing. I don't think it has to be an either or. Great. You want to put your models on a display only table? That's fantastic. You want to put your models on a judge table? Okay. Because I think we were thinking about having a display only show, and I think this so far is working out better for us. It's on track. You'd be able to focus on and track improvement. How? Dwayne, explain to me how you would be able to focus on track improvement. How you would be able to do that? What would need to be done in order to have that happen? One of the having spent a lot of time looking at this issue, and I'm not saying I'm expert at it, but one of the things about it. Hey, Peter, good morning, brother. What's going on? The one thing about this issue is you're not going to find the perfect competition. Which one's better, Coke or Pepsi? Which is better, going to the mountains, going to the ocean? And guys, that's rhetorical. I don't really fucking care what you think about that. Honestly, I don't think it's Pepsi's better. Okay, if you say so, whatever. Because personally speaking, all sodas suck, but that's just me. Coffee, on the other hand, that's a different conversation. Anyway. All right, we're going to grind a little more. Be right back. All right, let's see. NNL East, largest auto-based show in the Northeast, non-judged. Okay, Mike, I'll toss this out. So is Classic Plastic going to follow that model or not? Are they going to go to a non-judged show? Sure, that's a great question. If you have skill-based criteria, you're judged against it. If you have access to that info, you can improve based on it. How do you get access to that info? I'm not aware of any competition that gives you that kind of information. And frankly speaking, maybe it's just me. Writing down a note saying, by the way, check your nubs. It's that to me is not helpful at all. Coffee sucks. Fuck you, Tom. Let's see over time, see how you do. What's being browsed? I think you can do that with a current IPMS show. I don't think that there's anything that's judged. If you think about judging, this is interesting. I'm going to get to that point in just a second. Coffee sucks. I need coffee though. It's terrible, but it gets the motor running. Coffee is terrible? Oh God, no. Why do you think coffee is terrible? I'm soaking in it. Oh yeah, Peter. Coffee, the Palmolive of the morning. Just stick on a caffeine patch. I love it. Nope. But there might be something else in the works. Okay. But the point is, Mike, remember, that's what I'm getting at. There's a whole variety of different ways of being able to do this. So NNL East, Classic Plastic. Which one's right? There is no right and wrong. I think that's the mistake that gets made when this conversation comes up. It's like there's automatically an assumption judging is bad, judging is good. 1, 2, 3 is bad. Open judging is good. Open judging is bad. 1, 2, 3 is good. It's like, guys, there is no right and wrong. This is like, it's, I'm gonna, sorry, this is like a very touchy subject for me. Small groups for peer-based critique. That's what we did in art school. Yeah, and that's a different type of show. Peter, I'm totally in favor of something like that. 100%. I don't honestly care about comps. That could be clear. It's not about stuff. I take them to shows to show them. Yeah, I feel this and Dwayne, 100%. Now, I do like to do judging because I like to look at a model up close. I mean, it's a personal thing. And I like to meet with people afterward and just say, this is what I saw, what I didn't see. Personally, I'm a fan of display-only tables. Yeah, Mike, 100% in your camp. 100%. 100%. Couldn't agree more. And that's why I'm glad that we have that now, and I'll be the first to admit, I'm not the one who brought that forward. There were a couple of members at our club who are like aching to do it. They just happened to finally have a president who was like, put that as that's a great idea. We need to do that. I mean, this to understand and to frustrate Georgia is giving me information so I understand, so I can ultimately use that to figure out how to better grow the hobby. Yeah. And I'm looking for the same thing. And I think the unfortunate thing is, and this is the thing I will throw out, and I get frustrated all the time. This is why I don't care for GBWC. People get all bent out of shape on who won, who lost, how the rules are made. And it's like, guys, shut the fuck up. Honestly, if I hear anybody else bitching about, oh, well, their show this and they're doing, it's like, guys, the rules. It's a Bandai show. Shut the fuck up. You don't like it, find another show. You don't like IPMS, go elsewhere. You don't like SMC, plenty of others. I'll have one model on the comp table this show season. Nice. I'll be sure to judge cars, Mike, just to ding it. Just kidding, Mike. I'm looking forward to seeing your models. I think it would be cool if the comps were based on a single model kit, one specific for armor aircraft. Everything else can be display. Okay. Marketing exercise and not a competition, but people treat it as a competition. Please do now. Mike, actually, I just want to see it. And this is why I keep saying to everybody, you know what? As much as I hate competitions, I mean, I just don't care for the competition side. I suggest everybody be a judge. Why? You learn so much. You learn so much about what to look for critically. The amount of improvement I've made as a modeler, like example, trying to get rid of those idiotic injection pin marks, right? I don't know that I would have been as critical about this if I weren't doing judging. Yes, I probably would. But the point is you pick up skills as you start learning more about what others are doing, right? We talk about the internet being the great the great savior of the hobby in terms of you learning so many skills. Look at all the stuff that's available to you and all the skills you can learn. It's like, that's what judging does too. And you get to look at a model up close and in person, not just in photos. So, like I said, people like IPMS. They don't like IPMS, frankly. And this is, again, I'm going to discuss, I don't really care in the same way like I don't care for GBWC. I don't care what other, you don't like the show. Great. You don't have to go to it. You don't have to compete in it. I am filling this thing in because now it's just this one's a little too deep, unlike the other one. But I do suggest, if you have an opportunity to judge, it'll be so helpful to you in learning how to improve your skill sets. And I'm going to also toss this out as well. And, this is something that I think is also kind of important. I like helping out other organizations. I'm actually excited to see what Classic Plastic has going on. I'm looking forward to check. I mean, I saw last year's show, Classic Plastic, which is primarily an auto show. Again, guys, you know me. I hate cars. Cars are not my thing, but plastic models are, and I like seeing that. And they're doing, Gundam and sci-fi. Well, in that case, I can probably help out a little bit. And if I can now lend a little expertise, I'm not making myself be like an ultra expert here, but if I can help out a show and help, modelers be better at what they do in whatever small way, I'm going to do that. PatCon is Sunday, the 28th this month. So we're what? Just under 3 weeks away. If you're lucky enough to hear me rant incoherently about judging person, you can to come to PatCon. Yeah. I don't think you ranted incoherently at all. I think everybody's got opinions. I think there are, opinions are like assholes, right? And I got one too. Everybody's got one. September 28th, Planet Fitness would be a good venue for a display only show. Planet Fitness? A lot of good sculptures there. The Batmobile, for whatever reason, yeah. I'm super excited for Classic Plastic this year. Should be meeting several out-of-state YouTube content creators. Oh, influencers. Mike's going there for the influencers. It's a judgment-free zone. Oh, is it really now? Ken, are you being for real? Okay. Got that going. How much time? Yeah, I don't have much time here. Let's see if I can get this thing in here, though. I can hear my daughter laughing. Oh, God. Yeah. I'm just going to say, this model. Yeah. Just drying this thing down a little bit. I heard that Mike podcasters too. I'm here all week. You have all day. I wish I did have all day. Gotta go make the money today. Make the moolah. Gotta go meet with a client. Their builder, architect. I'm here all week. Nice. I'll say, it's nice to hang out with you guys in the morning before I have to get. I appreciate that, and I feel the same way. It's always good to have all the different voices here. And I know, look, guys, we all have topics that kind of like that we have opinions on. I get it. And just looking at all the commentary here, literally everybody had a different approach to competitions. Everyone. All right. I think I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Just see you can see all that gapping all around. I think we're going to cement it in place, and then we're going to have to. And then we're just going to have to literally seal it. Oh, this really is. This thing is just such a turd. And I think I got to get these parts in place first. Yeah, this is really. Oh, well, let's get some thin cement on stuff. Then I'm going to call it a nice day, only 30 minutes. Nice day, only 30 minutes. Sorry, I missed a bunch. Just broke a pipe from the tub. Wee! home ownership. Oh, yeah, not so much. Oh, right. That's not good. You all right, dude? I went to enter a comps at first, but as I progressed in the hobby, I had less desire to enter anything. Yeah. I think the unfortunate thing is a competition is a competition. There's baggage that comes with it. God, once again, I just don't understand how the fit and finish on this thing is just as weak as it is. Yeah, fucking brilliant. There. Let's see. By the way, I've got a whole of a model airplane collection, 140 kits that I'll have, some available at PacCon and Classic Plastic, all older kits. Well, how old are old? I almost need to apply textured surface everywhere to hide all these. Yeah, and I might end up doing that. I haven't decided if I'm going to be doing a textured surface or not. I don't think I'm going to with this one. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus, this thing is so fucked up. This is going to require, you know what? I'm not going to rush it. It's 7 o'clock. I'm going to table this until tomorrow. There's just a lot of work to get this thing to come together well. All right, leave all that there. All right, my friends. Ooh, plane kits. Reading glass lenses, judging rules. They have point system and non-point system. Good news, I install shutoffs for everything, but now I have to fix it all. Yep. Yes, you do. Good luck, Ray. That sucks. It's all drama here from people who think they should have one instead. But that's the point. Keeping in mind, once again, Nick, and this is why I think it's also important if you're into competitions, keeping in mind that it's not all bad. It's like you hear when people complain, it's like just push it off. It's like find the good in anything. And if you don't want to compete, that's fine, but just find the good in anything. Time are you going to pack? Yes, I'm officially going. Hawk. Testers, a lot of Rebel, Hasagawa, and more. Whoa, cool. Mike, what scale? 172nd, 148, 132nd? All right, guys. I'm putting all that stuff away. I'm hoping to be there too. I'm hoping you make it up as well, Mike. Yeah, Tom. All 148. Wow, that's good size stuff. That's cool. I'm going to guess it's probably going to be some takers for some of that stuff. All right. So, my friends, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. Good conversation. And again, I apologize for coming off maybe a little harshly on this subject, but it's I think we give too much credence to some things, and it's just not that important. But go out there and do good. Enjoy the day as much as you can and brighten the world. Can't wait to see everyone. Dwayne, ditto. George can't take any. George doesn't want any more planes, honestly. Maybe one. Anyway, guys, do good. Go out there and brighten the world. It's a crazy world. It's getting more insane, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. We have to go out there and brighten the world as much as possible. Later, Gators. See you at the show. Sounds good, Mike. Later, Nick. But brighten the world, show dignity and respect and all that other good stuff for people. Just do good. I'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Enjoy the day, guys. Love you all. Catch the flip. Peace.